Hello and welcome back to the BOS Penthouse Experience. I'm your host, True Legend, aka DVM. I'm here with my co-host, Lando.
How's it going, everybody?
Steven.
How's it going, guys?
And special guest, another one, Noel.
Hey, thank you guys so much for bringing me on. It's a true pleasure
Welcome
and
to
honor.
the show, Noel.
Yeah, no problem. Thank
Here,
you for having me
I'm
on.
going to do
again.
this just for you. Ooh.
Bam.
Fabulous.
Ooh.
Amazing.
Ooh. All right, let's get into it.
Yeah. To what do I owe you guys the pleasure of the evening?
Well, Noel, it's been a year. How have you been?
I feel like it's been more than a year, but yeah, it's definitely been a long ride.
Pretty eventful.
Most definitely, yes.
Have you enjoyed your experience in the military?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I absolutely enjoy it a lot.
No regrets?
I wish I did this sooner in life.
Okay.
The last time we saw you, well, for me personally, was me and Ed's.
That is correct. Yes. I want to say that might have been around September of 2018.
Yeah, we left September 2018, went to the new place. I won't say what that is, but... And then I believe Noel left at the end of January?
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Scumbag. Left
Very
us
much,
again.
very much so. Yes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you went to the military, so thank you for your service. Something we couldn't do.
I mean, I could do it. I just choose not to do it.
I'm not gonna say anything.
God damn it. I got
So,
this.
to what do I owe you guys the pleasure of this evening?
Well, how was your experience in the military? As you expected? Different? Tough? Easy?
You know, it's a mixed bag, and it is what you make of it. Some days were definitely really hard and stressful. Other days were like, damn, this kind of sucks. But you know, it is what you make of it, and there is potential to have the time of your life, and that's basically the output. I kind of looked at it, tried to have as much fun as possible, and just not get caught up in all the, forget my language, but all the bullshit that happens, and there is a lot of that goes on there.
And that is why
Oh, definitely.
you're on this podcast, man.
Once again, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Anytime. If you want to be a regular, man, just let us know.
I'll have to have my people contact your people.
Just contact me. That's it.
Okay, yeah, I can't afford people, but yeah, okay.
I
I'll
may
contact
have
you.
to
So
make you
you're
sign a
part of the
contract.
National Guard, correct?
Yes, the California Army National Guard.
How's that?
What do you guys do?
Well, the California Army National Guard encompasses a series of objectives, both at the state level and at the federal level. Federal level can encompass like a combat deployment overseas, in defense of territory, or an offensive, or or it could be like a deployment overseas purely for humanitarian effort.
So like the wildfire thing or something in
That
Australia?
would be for state, yes.
Okay.
For federal though, it's mainly more of just like what regular big full-time army does. Fun fact: during the Iraq War, the vast majority of U.S. servicemen during the Iraq War are actually National Guardsmen, which is, to me, was actually a bit of an interesting piece of tidbit information that I found out.
The more you know.
You're enjoying it?
Most definitely, yes. I wish I did active duty out of high school, and then I wish I rejoined National Guard as prior service. I think that would have been amazing if I did that. But I'm glad to be in the service. I'm glad to earn the right to call myself a soldier. It definitely was a challenge, but this is definitely something that I really much enjoyed.
What's the best part of it? Like, what do you enjoy the most about it?
Honestly, I really just enjoy wearing my uniform. Like it's a sense of pride. Just the way I take care of my uniform, and the fact that I had my uniforms like more custom tailored to my fitting, just make it all more personal to me. And I was just given that opportunity, and it was at no cost to me, and so I took it, and then I went a step further and started to get my stuff and insignia sewn on to my uniforms, which typically it really isn't for your camouflage uniforms, your what we call as OCPs. Those, your insignias and your patches and everything are all Velcro. But I went a step further, and I wanted to get mine like insignia sewn on, since it looks more professional, and like I'm just trying to make a name for myself, and it's just a sense of pride overall.
So you have different types of uniforms?
Most definitely, yes. I have several, all depending on the mission. whether it be very formal, whether it be like what maybe some might call like a smoke session, where we're just working out a lot, or it's something more combat oriented, or something more something more just for like some kind of work detail. It all depends on the task at hand.
So what kind of uniform do you guys use when you guys are off duty?
Off duty, it really depends. I mean, off duty, you're welcome to change out, and that's what a lot of people do. Of course, like each base is different. The bases that I were on at, if we were off duty, uh, you were authorized to switch over to civilian clothing if you wanted to, or switch over to your physical training uniform. Shorts and short sleeve and athletic shoes.
So I know in the last podcast I did say that we were having Michael Martinez as a special guest for this episode, but I was wrong. It's actually for the next one. Noel was already going to be a special guest, but he was in town, and we tossed him in here, and here we are. But for Michael Martinez, that's going to be the next podcast. I just thought I'd say that real quick because I know I mentioned him in the last podcast. But Noel,
Yes.
this is all about you.
Oh,
buddy.
Well, thank you very much.
We thank you for your services, and we all love you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Once this is done, man, I'm gonna give you a little sucky. $5.
I'm gonna have to decline on that one.
How frequently are you here?
It depends. My civilian sector job keeps me pretty busy as well. I will admit sometimes it is a little difficult to have time to myself, balancing National Guard and my civilian sector job. Like in fact, just last week I literally worked. 2 weeks ago I literally worked like 7 days straight with no day off, and boy, that was not fun. It was like 4 days of my civilian sector job, 12-hour shifts, plus I had to commute like 4 hours, 5 hours, to the location, and then 4 to 5 hours back to the Central Valley after my my task at hand was completed, and then immediately switch uniforms and start doing my National Guard 3-day weekend drill. And yeah, I was definitely feeling burnt out at the end of that week. That was just 7 days of nonsense.
So your job's not local?
My job is local, but for the most part, I find that I'm being sent to the Bay Area for the most part, particularly in San Jose or sometimes Santa Cruz. I have been sent as far as north as Ukiah.
Where is that at?
It's I can't remember where it's at, but it's about like a 5.5 hour drive.
Up north?
Yes, it is very beautiful up there. I will admit that, but it's a very long drive.
Okay.
Is Ukiah in the Sierras, or is it more in the Bay Area?
No, it's more I would say like you're going towards, I don't know if you folks are familiar with Eureka or like Redwood City area.
Oh,
Well, actually, it's further past Redwood. I'm sorry.
Is it like near the border towards Washington or Oregon?
I think it's probably like if I drove for like an extra 2 hours, I'd probably get there.
Okay, so it's not super close.
It can be, but I mean, it's still very beautiful nonetheless. And it was a nice little work week. Granted, the 5 hours commuting, over there, and 5 hours commuting once my work week was done was definitely not exciting. But at the end of it, that paycheck was very thick.
Making that stripper money.
Oh, I definitely could. I definitely could. I make pretty well with.
Be the first military stripper.
It's funny is I've actually dated 2 strippers in my life. Prior to joining the military, that's the best part, because when you hear about people dating a stripper, it's because they're in the military, and that does happen a lot. However, this was prior to me joining the military.
Is it because they're easy?
Well, the first woman I met, I didn't know she was a stripper. She didn't divulge that to me. She kept that hidden from me.
What a whore!
Oh,
yes, yeah,
yes, she very much was, and she works at Deja Vu strip club, and it's an all nude club in Bakersfield. She got into it because her sister started working there, and so they apparently
Ooh.
worked together on stage.
Family pies?
It I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, she definitely. Again, I didn't know that. As far as I knew, she just worked as a uh at a preschool. As far as I knew, and that's legit what she did. But on weekends it was a different story. And the second woman I met was okay. So I went to a strip club. Like this is like well after that relationship ended. Um, met another woman, and she took a liking to me for some reason, and then her and I just dated for a little bit. But I kind of broke that off because that's just all bad, and um, I didn't really want to be with that woman. She was a sweet person. I will say that. Like she really is sweet, and I really wish her the best. But I just think I definitely should not be in a relationship with that person. But yes, that's how I've dated two strippers in my life. I don't know if I'm living a dream or not, but yeah, that happened.
It's crazy that you just went from dating nobody to two strippers. It's
Yeah, I feel like I really I don't know how to describe this. It's like I really hit like the ground running when it came to like sexuality and like my sex life. And just dating, cuz like see in high school women didn't really pay too much attention to me. I don't know why. And to me like that bothers me. It's like I
I
don't
think I
get
know why.
like was I that ugly? Cuz like I'm still the same height.
I think it was your height.
I'm still the same height, yet I've definitely had far more women in my entire life in bed than I ever did in high school.
It
And
was probably your height, honestly.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know if I'm just a late bloomer or what happened, but I pretty much hit the ground running when I was like 20.
at 20, you just had to get it out there and
He just
take
had to
your
hoe
shots.
around. No.
No, I wasn't trying to be a man whore or anything. Because see, after high school, I actually took up religion and actually became quite religious and like would go to like church on my own and just study and or just read the Bible after finishing like a lecture at college. And then eventually just one day I was like, man, you know what? I think I just want to take a break from Christianity, and I started like just distancing myself from mainstream religion. And then for a good while, I considered myself atheist or agnostic, or kind of like a depending on how I was feeling, but more or less leaning towards being agnostic.
You
then-
busted all kinds of cream pies after that, though.
You know what? I kind of did, yeah. Like I definitely struggled with like religious guilt, and then I was like, man, you know what? I feel like I'm missing out. I want to have sex. Like I want to go out and be with a woman intimately. I don't want to wait till marriage. I don't want any of this stuff. And then all that happened was I messaged an older cougar, and next thing you know, after talking back and forth for a few days, she invited me over, and that's how I lost my virginity.
Ooh,
Nice.
Wow.
I kind of felt like I was taken advantage of, but at the same time,
I mean, did you want it?
at the end of the day, yes, I did, and I got what I wanted.
I think both parties got what they wanted.
Yes. She was a very dirty woman.
I'm sure if she was single or she was married.
I'm pretty sure she was single. It got pretty awkward when she said that she had a son my age, and she started talking about him like she was like implying that I should meet her son, and I was like, I definitely don't want that.
That seems uncomfortable.
Especially because
Hey, bro, I'm fucking your mom.
especially because literally after that conversation, I had painted her face prior to that conversation.
That's like the shit they bring up after you finish. It's like, why did you tell me that?
Yes, and so it was pretty awkward. It was like, yeah.
It's like when the girl's like, so what are we?
I've definitely been hit with that question a few times.
Painted her face? I'm getting this right? Yeah, okay. All right. Anyways, let's move on.
Yes. Each day we stray further away from God's light.
Okay, so you said you were religious. Around what age was that? 18, 19?
I mean, I was like, I grew up Christian, Catholic to be more specific. My parents didn't really force religion on me. They kind of more or less allowed me to pick and choose for myself, but more or less kind of just nudged me towards Christianity. Like, hey man, we want you to worship and believe what you want to, but we would prefer if you be some sort of sect of Christianity.
So your parents are like the religious people who hold a title, but they're not very into it.
I would say so. Like, like if I were to ask my mother, she would identify as Christian. My dad would probably say atheist, because I know my dad can be pretty questionable, like willing to question things easily.
Now, when you were drifting away from religion, was that messing with you
Um,
psychologically?
in some ways, yes, and I felt like I didn't really have like a lot of people to turn to. Like I did have a group of friends I hung out with at that time, and they definitely did not like the fact that I broke away and would or get mad that I would make like jokes about like God not existing or something like that, or um yeah, and then yeah, eventually I just kind of just stopped hanging out with those people, and then just little by little I saw less and less of them, and then I just mainly just tried to focus more on myself for the most part.
Were your friends Russian?
No.
Okay.
Irrelevant question, but okay.
Why would it matter if they're Russian?
Well, you said they got mad that you wanted to have freedom of beliefs.
Okay, I understand what you mean now. Moving on.
So, tell me, I know you mentioned about strip clubs,
Oh dear.
but I want to hear the full experience, from the moment you walked in and then the moment you walked out. Tell me all about it.
The first time I went to a strip club, or like the last time I went to a strip club?
First time, and just be like, exactly what did you do in them? Yeah, what did you do?
The first time I went to a strip club, I think I was 21 or 22. I was with my old group of friends, and the more irresponsible one in the group was like, "Hey, man, you've never gotten drunk before," and I was like, yeah, I've never have. I've only literally just cut myself off after 2 drinks. Always, like I've never been tipsy. I've never been inebriated by any means. And so he was like, "Well, tonight I'm gonna make sure you get pretty trashed." And we started drinking like in the middle late afternoon, and I distinctly remember I drank several pints and damn near like a pitcher of beer at one point. And I'm a little guy, so it wouldn't take that much for me to get drunk, anyways. But at some point in the late evening, after bar hopping like throughout Fresno and Clovis area, we for some reason went to a strip club. I don't know whose idea that was. That might have been me. I don't know. But point is, I was completely trashed. And my last memory of that event was vomiting in the bathroom at BJ's Brewhouse, and then coming back to the table and seeing like a freshly poured beer out there because my friend at the time bought another one for me, and I told him like, "Look, I can't drink anymore. I'm probably gonna have alcohol poisoning because I've literally just been vomiting for the past 15 minutes." And he was like, "Well, it's illegal to like waste a good beer." And I was like, "Man, you're probably right." And I drank it, and then we got to the car, and like I passed out in the back seat, and I remember waking up, and then we were in the parking lot of City Lights strip club, and we went in. Uh, there was a girl there, and then I don't know what else happened after that. Everything else was a blur.
So, bar hopping, how was that? Is that any fun? Because I know people talk about it.
It's a yes and no kind of thing. Like it kind of can be fun, but honestly, when I look back at it now, like I don't drink now. So the idea of bar hopping to me isn't really fun.
But going to a bar just in general, is that fun?
Um, I'm gonna say no. I mean, like I said, I don't drink anymore. So like just being at a bar isn't really as exciting as it is anymore, and yeah, it's just doesn't really do it for me.
I don't know. Bars, it seems like the type of thing you go with friends and you guys just sit at the counter, drink, take shots, and just talk. Is that true?
Yes, that is true.
Okay.
I definitely do prefer to use going. I did prefer. Let me rephrase that. When I did drink, I did prefer to use this as a time to like intermingle and chat with women, and I I don't know. It really built up my courage when it comes to addressing the opposite sex, or trying to date or what have you. So I would say it definitely gave me some experience.
Because when I turn 21, I would want to experience a bar.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Yeah, most
Steven Land over here gonna take me one.
I'll take you to a bar, but
Good,
they're
good.
not as fun as you might think they are.
I'm pretty sure it might be fun the first time, but after that, it's probably not as fun.
Well, you need to go with a group of people
You have
because
to
it's
be
kind
with
of
the right kind of people.
yeah, it's kind of boring if you just go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless your purpose of going is just to get fucking shit faced. I mean, you're probably gonna have fun.
Yeah, I would say so. Like it is what you make of it.
You know, it's a big chance to experiment with things, and
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, I've been to 2 bars. It was boring both times.
Yeah.
And-
you didn't socialize. It's about socializing,
well,
man.
the first time I had to babysit a drunk guy.
Yeah, I know how that is.
That wasn't very fun at all. And then I had to take him home, and we had to leave his car in the parking lot because his dumbass couldn't fucking drive home.
I'm gonna pretend I haven't been in that situation before.
Yeah.
Are you talking about me?
No, you don't know this person.
Shots fired.
Oh,
Although speaking of Orlando, probably one of the best things he's ever told me. On my 21st birthday at like 1 a.m, he texted me saying he was drunk at the bar and needed me to take him home. And then like when I was leaving, him and a bunch of our friends ambushed my car with like silly string and poppers and shit. So I thought that was funny.
I like a good surprise. I like surprising people.
Women like surprises.
In their faces or on it.
Yeah.
Noel would know, right?
I think Noel would know out of all of us here.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm the type of person who'd give someone common courtesy. Like I would probably let someone know that I'm about to.
He's like, "May I?"
You give him the tap on the head like you're coming.
You look at him and you're just like, "It's time, babe."
Wait a minute. So, how do you personally feel about giving a girl or a woman a facial?
You know, I actually very much enjoy it, and like, if she's enjoying it, then I'm definitely enjoying
Oh
it.
my goodness, this makes me want to get into my first experience of giving some woman facial, dude. It was terrible. At the time, I was like, "Oh, dude, it's fucking coming."
Yes.
But it was during the day, so I watched that shit just right on her fucking face. I'm just staring. I'm like, "Do you need a fucking napkin or something?" And she's like looking up at me, smiling. I'm like, "Oh, dude."
That's the best. I love it when they do
It's
that.
definitely
It killed
a
it.
weird feeling, I'd say.
It's awkward as heck, man. 'cause
No,
your fucking sons are on her face and shit.
I don't think it's awkward. If anything, I'm enjoying it. She's enjoying it. She's smiling. And I'll scoop it up with my finger and stick it my
It's
finger in
definitely
her
a
mouth.
personal thing, huh?
Okay, no.
I'm a dirty dog, man. Like I like dirty sex. Like
Woof,
I'm that
woof.
kind of guy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I like dirty.
Everyone's got their preferences.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I like dirty sex. That's all I gotta say.
What are your preferences, Steven?
I'm
Finger
a
up the butt.
virgin, so I don't really have any.
I mean, you have your fetishes and your likings and all.
Fetish
Well, the
stuff.
thing with Steven, he's not gonna give any woman a facial. He's gonna get one.
Oh,
I mean, if she's like on top of my face and I just die of asphyxiation, I mean, that's a good way to go.
hey, I've almost died from that once.
I don't even know what to say to that.
But I could imagine I probably wouldn't like doing that. I'm probably the kind of
awkward.
guy that wouldn't want to pull out, honestly.
No, I hate the fucking pull-out method is. It's
Well,
it's
not even
horrible.
because to prevent pregnancy or anything. I just don't
No,
like the
it's-
idea of doing
it kills the pleasure.
Oh,
Because
I
you're
know.
so into it. Then you
Yeah.
pull out and you're just kind of bursting all over the place, and you're just like,
and it's not as intense either.
It's not.
Well,
So
I mean, it can be like if you're with a woman and she says, you know, come wherever you want, and you're like, oh wow, I can really do whatever the hell I want, and
her armpit.
that's,
What's that form of art called where you're just doing like random stuff? When you're
Form of
with
art.
like paint? Yeah.
oh, it's kind of like that, and then
You're painting her canvas.
You're like, oh, I
Most
wonder how it'd
definitely.
look on the belly button.
yes, I mean, see, that's cool. Like it is what Mr. JDB has stated. Like, you know, it does kind of kill the vibe a little bit, but sometimes it could be enjoyable. Like if she says, you know, come wherever you want, and you know, get her and you know to finish in her mouth, and see it can be enjoyable.
I gotta ask, are you guys boob guys, ass guys, or something else?
Honestly, I'm more of an ass kind of guy.
I am also an ass kind of guy.
What about you, Orlando?
I'm an ass guy, dude, for sure.
I think I'm the only boob person then here. I don't
Well,
see the benefit to ass.
Well, I
It's
don't.
just
Yeah.
Don't
Gotta grab on.
don't get me
something,
wrong.
man.
Like I love boobies. Believe me, it's
well, I
just-
mean, like I don't I mean, it's not really attractive to me. I wouldn't say it's necessarily unattractive, but it's not. I'm not looking at it and like, oh yeah,
Really?
yeah. It's just it doesn't do anything for me.
I mean, if she has both, that'd be nice.
See, I think
Both would be nice,
like
too.
the shape it makes it more like, oh, like she's fertile, she's good to go. If she doesn't have a butt, it's like, ugh.
She has a butt like Miley Cyrus. You're like, oh no.
I don't know what Miley Cyrus's butt
She
looks
has
like.
crack butt.
I don't want to know what her butt looks like, but
There's like a video of when she first started going crazy where like she's wearing this skin tight thong and her butt is just, you can tell she was doing some hardcore
She was
drugs.
twerking on that one guy. What's his name?
I don't remember.
is it Robin Thicke?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
But
Robin
you
Thicke.
saw her butt and you're just like, oh, that's a drug butt.
She's tight.
I feel like I need to ask how you know what a drug butt looks like, but I feel like I'm just gonna let.
Well,
that be.
that's what my mother called it, and she's definitely more experienced than I am.
Where is your mother, by the way?
She's somewhere else in Sanger right now.
She will be one of our special guests.
She will not be a guest on the podcast, but we will interview her.
Be sure to invite me for that situation.
She's-
I would definitely like to be a part of this experience with her.
Oh, trust me, you're gonna be on this podcast more often.
Oh, most definitely. I will be there.
Well,
with
his
her.
mother's probably at the hideaway. I'm just throwing that out there.
And
And also, I
actually,
think Steven's a boob, so I
they
think that's
don't-
why he likes boobs better.
actually, they really don't drink at bars anymore. They just kind of get drunk at the house now.
Well, if you guys are saying that bars are really not that fun, if it's just her and, her significant other, then I'm pretty sure they're going to have a blast over there. So might as well just do it at home.
I mean, the way I see it is, it's more fun to get drunk at home because at least like you're already home.
You're
so
safe.
you're
That
safe.
is true. You don't have to worry about fights typically, or
Bar fights.
There isn't really bar.
I've
I mean,
been in a
not
few of
everyone
those.
gets angry when they're drunk. It's a few select people.
Well, I mean,
Lando?
like look at me for instance. Like I've definitely been to like establishments where alcohol is, and I've been there for women, and I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I will be on a date with someone, and there'll be a guy there, and they'll look at me, and they'll look at her, they'll look back at me, and they'll look back at her, and then they're like pissed off at me. Like I don't get it. Like
Jealous.
Like-
It's jealousy,
I've actually
intimidation tactics.
definitely had someone like try and like start a fight over me over a woman, and it was just ridiculous. Like, grow up.
Did you
like-
kick his ass?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
He
He's
did
like-
sucker punch me though. I do remember that. The little shitbag did that to me. But I got up
Yeah.
and I gave him a 1-2, and he ran off, and that was the best part. But yeah. And on top of it off, like the woman I was with, who I ended up being in a long-term relationship with, blamed me for that situation. She's the one that could have stopped all this, but she was being grinded. Women, what are you gonna do with her?
There are times when women can be very irrational. I agree.
They just want a minute or admit it.
Yeah.
Well, in a minute they can cheat on you. So
Brother, I've been there.
And that goes both ways.
it does.
Yeah.
It definitely does.
Women are better cheaters than men, though.
Well, they are because they plan it out.
Yeah.
They have a whole
Men-
flow chart of every event that's possible and what they're gonna do.
Men just react to it.
Men are just like, oh shit, what am I gonna say?
And then on top of that, like women typically have no trouble finding sex compared to a man.
Oh yeah, any woman can get sex. It doesn't matter how
Like-
fucking ugly you are.
I can be a heavy set woman, and I can maybe not have the prettiest.
You could be Honey
face.
Boo Boo and get fucking sex.
Yes, and
Actually,
Uh,
Honey Boo Boo's not old enough yet.
oh,
That's like fucking 7 years old or something.
I don't know why I was thinking of a fat lady in my head.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable.
Baby raper alert.
But like if you were to look at me, like I have to work hard to like even lay with a woman. Like it can be done, but I got to put a lot of effort into it.
That's how it should be.
If no, it should not. It's
Both
too
parties
much
should
effort.
put a lot of effort into
A
it.
woman, all she has to do is go to a bar, feign it like she cares about what the other guy's saying, and then that's it. She just got laid. Just like that.
I see what Noel's talking about. It's a
Oh, I
specific
get
type
it.
of woman. Like,
I get
if you
it.
want, yeah.
Like
Yeah, any woman can get sex easily.
yes, most
I'm just
definitely.
saying they should have to put more effort into it, but guys are just usually so easy.
And a lot of it I think has to do with like like obviously like women that are single and going to bars or clubs, they do want to meet someone, but
Well,
at
yeah.
the same time they kind of want to be pretend that there's someone or not. Like I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but for some reason women, particularly when women are in groups or at a bar, at a club or situation like that, if they're in a group, and it's mostly single women. They all come in with an attitude, like it's a privilege to speak to them. It's a privilege to be around them.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what that is, but I really hate that false confidence, and it really bothers me a lot.
It's probably because
But
they think they're hot shit.
it definitely does have to do with that, and then it bothers me more that they'll come in with that attitude, and you find out that they live like in Section 8 apartments, and that they drive like a '99 Honda Civic, but they act like their pussy's golden.
That they're on food stamps, welfare. They hang out in a parking garage.
Yes, and have like 2 kids, but it's a privilege to talk to them. Never mind the fact that I have a good career and I have. Never mind, I'm getting too much into it. But the point is, it just takes a lot of effort for a man to.
Such a privilege, man. Such a privilege.
Not that I'm trying to sound like I hate women or anything. I'm definitely not. I'm very much supportive of every gender and race. I'm just saying that like hookup and dating culture in the U.S. is just kind of weird and off, and it's off-putting at times.
Do you prefer it in like a place like India where they just pick your wife?
I feel like that should be illegal. Like consent should be a big thing.
You imagine you came home one day and your father was just like, "Son, I found you a wife. Go."
I'd like to think that my dad has the best interest, so I would maybe give it a shot.
I don't think it's son, I think I found you a wife. I think it's son, I found you a wife.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That was it? That was it?
Look, my words just got jumbled up in my head, so sorry about that.
Son, I found you wife.
Go make grandchildren.
Now. Fuck, shit, her.
What are you doing now?
I mean, what I was getting at is that the guy in India is the one that's initiating all of that. And,
I mean, the female doesn't really have a choice.
No, she doesn't.
But, it's usually they're happy, though.
I would say that's very perspective.
You have to make the best out. Like, if you're fucked in that situation, you have to make the best out of it.
But I would say most of the time those guys are very not good to their. It's not like they're horrible people usually.
I don't know. I feel like a marriage,
forced
marriage
should
not
be.
through consent is not bueno at all.
I don't think it is either. I'm just saying I don't think they're necessarily unhappy.
I know sometimes, particularly like the wife is married off into a rich male or an upper middle class male, and I assume they just kind of accept it because it's a chance for her to have a better social class. But I still think that's like not right because I feel like marriage or relationships or sex should just be consensual.
Yeah, you should have some form of attraction to one another. You can't just force that.
Yeah, because that's just all kinds of bad, and it's not 1950. It's just all kinds of bad.
Maybe they could do something like Coming to America did.
With Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
That movie's pretty funny.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy's a good actor. He plays 2 of the best cartoon characters ever. Or I don't know if you call them cartoon characters since they're in a movie, but.
Are we talking about that time when he was busted for picking up a tranny prostitute?
Oh, really? I did not know about that. I was talking about him playing Donkey and Mushu.
Oh, well, he definitely was busted picking up a transsexual prostitute, who he claimed he was just giving a ride.
So Eddie Murphy's gay?
I don't know. Apparently, he was under the influence and or something. I don't know the details, but
is it that he thought it was a chick, but it was a dude, and he was like, "Oh shit,
fuck it."
I have yet to be in that situation.
Well, that's what he was gonna do. He was gonna fuck it.
Oh, sweet heaven above.
So pretty off topic, but I've been noticing this a lot, and this is more of a generational thing. But BD, this might be with you. For some reason, I'm seeing a lot of people. They'll just be recording videos of themselves lip syncing. Like,
where have you seen that? I haven't seen that.
Talking about TikTok or something?
I don't think I've seen this either.
Lip sync?
I can't say I've seen this, but I mean, what platform are you watching this on? YouTube?
I'm not watching it on any platform. Well, anyways, this is job related kind of, but I've seen a lot of the younger generation kids just recording themselves lip syncing, and they're using high production like cameras and whatnot. So I don't know if it's TikTok, but
well, if they were just recording themselves lip syncing, they can't make money off of that itself. It would
Well-
have to be like donations.
For example, that over there at Wingstop when we went a couple weeks ago, they were doing that. They were lip syncing and then they were just recording themselves like they're badass or they're
I didn't notice. I was trying not to pay attention to them. They were pretty ratchet.
I don't know, but I mean that's
Ratchet,
very.
you say. I'm now you got my
Oh, yeah,
interest.
people,
now
uh,
you have my interest.
They were all guys, dude.
Dude,
No.
they were all no females, all guys, ghetto. It
So-
probably doesn't matter that they're black, but I mean, they were.
They weren't black.
Yes, weren't they?
They were like Mexican, the ghetto Mexican.
They were pretty dark then.
I feel like you described what every like club in Fresno is composed of. Just nothing but men.
Mezcals.
You know, I like the fact that that's open late. I think that's really cool.
Till
I think-
4, but it's dry after 2.
But that. See, I've only been there like
Well,
twice.
if it's
I think.
dry, just get some lube and you're good to go.
Please don't. Please stop talking.
That sounds rapey for a club.
You know what? There was a time when I was there and I did get that vibe because it was like the ratio was completely off. Like it was more like I was at a gay club than a straight club.
You were at Legends with Brian, weren't you?
I'd never been to Legends, and I don't know. Are there women there? Would it be easier to pick up women at a gay club? A
Well,
strictly gay club?
Women go to gay clubs so they don't have to talk to men.
That, you know.
I mean, this is where they fuck up because we actually tried this a long time ago.
yes.
We went
and-
to this gay club called Fab. I had this idea. I thought, hey, well, there's women there, and
You know, he wasn't wrong, and
but when we were there, I saw black guys there. I'm like, oh, I thought we bumped into something, but I was actually wrong.
and
I thought we discovered this, but it's been used before.
it's definitely been.
What if
some-
the black guys were gay?
They were getting at girls, dude. They weren't gay.
No, yeah, they were definitely getting at girls. Pratt, hats off to them because I mean, like, you know, we all had the right idea, but you know, they got there before we did. And
Well, I
plus,
mean, they're animals.
they were more they were more comfortable with addressing women in public, and I was shy because I don't like meeting women at clubs. Granted, there's a ton of them there, but again, it's like kind of like it goes back to what I said when they're at clubs or at bars. They always come in with a haughty attitude, like they're somebody important, but you know deep down inside that, you know, honey, your fucking cooter looks like it comes out the 99-cent store.
Smells like it too.
Yeah.
Oh man.
At least it's
But-
not as bad as our old coworker who said it smelled like fish down there once.
That's disgusting.
Who said that? Name drop.
Michael.
Oh, I remember this. I encouraged him to, yeah, because see, she hit him up and he decided to text her back, and then she said that she'd pick him up, and he was like, should I do it? And I said, Michael,
Oh yeah,
Go
he was
do it.
like debating the whole night.
and I convinced him to do it, and then I asked him the next day, and he was like, you know, man, it really wasn't worth it, and in that situation, I was the woman because she picked me up, she took me to her place, we had sex. Correction, she made me have sex with her, and then she dropped me off. It's like, yeah, I was the woman in that situation. And then he was like, it wasn't really worth it. And I was like, I understand, and I'm sorry. But he's like, but I still got my nut. So, I mean, at the end of the day, he still got
He's
what he
braver
wanted.
than most.
So I'll pretend I haven't been in that situation too.
I haven't.
You will be.
College is a great experience, Steven, and you're letting that go to waste.
Oh, most definitely. Like, I really.
I don't think you
can't wait to get
understand.
back.
Most of the people I see, at least in my area, are either taken or they're not attractive.
A lot of people that say they're taken sometimes aren't, dude. Just a heads up.
Most women lie. Please understand that.
Oh, I understand.
Then again, a lot
I'm
of
just-
men lie too. But
Let's just say hot girls don't major in math.
yeah, because they're fucking cheerleaders and dumb shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
There's
they're
this,
stupid.
There's this one girl named Jessica that I met at Reedley College, and I had to meet her in class, dude. So I'm just saying, you don't need a class with them.
You're not wrong.
That is true.
I'm just saying, like, having a class with someone is the easiest way to, like, I guess, pick up chicks, because it's not even hard to get their number. If, like, you want to just say, hey, you want to be, like, you want to study together? Here's my number.
I think
It
there's
works
always that
almost every
implication.
There is, but there's also
But-
a path where you can easily get stuck in the quote unquote friend zone.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And, that you set yourself up for that when you start like trying to like get them involved in group projects and stuff like that. So I would advise against that.
I'm just saying it's pretty, like, you know how guys will be like, oh, I don't know how to get a girl's number? It's super easy to get a girl's number in college.
Yeah, it can be. It can be, and speaking back to like people that are saying that they're together. One thing I did notice when I did meet like some women in college was that some of them would be quote unquote married. I mean, well, let me phrase it. They would be married, but they're being awfully flirtatious with me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what does even marriage mean?
And it begs like to ask me the question.
Well-
And at that time, I was like, man, I do respect marriage, and I'm not going to pursue this woman. But now, if you ask me, I should have destroyed her.
I
I
think
would've.
marriage is an agreement that a lot of people break. It's supposed to be bound by your religion, but a lot of people don't care anymore. It's not, the 1950s.
See, I feel like liberal politics has definitely degraded our founding fathers' vision of a United States. of
Oh
America.
yeah. I can't say it would be good though with all conservative either, because then everyone would be worshiping Christ in school.
Please, that is correct.
There would be no
yes.
diversity
There
on
needs
that.
to be like a good balance. Like, see, I'm not really religious. If anything, I'm probably leaning more towards Buddhism. But yeah, I'm definitely someone
Well,
who's.
you definitely looked like a Buddhist when you joined the military. Shaved head and all.
Please don't remind me. It took my hair forever to grow back, and when it did,
Oh, yeah.
it looked amazing.
Oh
love
yeah.
that.
My cousin was the same way when he went to the police academy. He looked totally different person.
It was. I felt
It
disgusting.
took him like a year to get it all back.
Press F.
Put an F in the chat, boys.
Oof.
So Noel, you said you had a topic you wanted to talk about.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
I don't recall what.
I believe it has something to do with anal sex.
Oh wow. Okay, I was just kidding.
Not anymore.
Well, I mean, since we're on that topic, I don't know if you gentlemen have partaken in anal sex, but it is it's pretty good, man. Pretty good.
It's either horrible or it's good.
I've only had it twice in my life, and the first time was with a woman I was casually seeing, and I felt really bad. I felt like I was really hurting her, and I didn't really enjoy it.
See,
So
the
we only
thing-
tried that once.
I
And the
think-
second time was with a woman I was in a long-term relationship with, and that was cool and all, but like it definitely didn't happen as often as it probably should have.
If there's one thing I know about that,
Mhm.
you can finish in there.
Oh, that is amazing.
So, do you guys just like giving or receiving?
I mean, I've been finger blasted before. And
Well, I'm talking about pegging.
Just giving, motherfucker.
What's
Okay,
wrong
wait,
with
okay,
getting pegged?
Wait, your question is, like, for example, doggy, you're giving it to her.
So,
yeah,
do you just like like fucking her anal sex, or do you guys
Yes.
also like getting fucked by like a strap on by her?
I've
No,
never
what
done
the
that.
fuck?
and
Never.
I don't think I want that.
No, never.
I tried.
See,
to
I'd
con-
be open to the idea.
I tried to convince myself that I would be willing to do that for my partner, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that.
It's personal preference for everybody. I mean,
Yeah,
And
and
me personally,
I
would
was
not.
just I felt like I was just trying to appease her, but like I said, I have been, I've had a woman finger blast me. I've had her finger blast me, and it's definitely an experience. It was, not bad at all. I mean, you're like when a woman is, going down on you, and you're a woman is going down on you, and then suddenly she is massaging your prostate. It is a definite interesting.
that makes me think of
experience.
our old coworker who said like right when he was gonna finish, his girl stuck her finger up his ass, and he wasn't sure if he was gay or not because he liked it, but he never wanted her to do it again.
This nigga gay.
Or one of the funniest stories I've ever heard about anal was actually from you, Noel. You're
Was
telling me a story about your buddy who like went in there, and when he pulled it out, it was like a cone of shit on his dick.
Oh.
Yeah, that could be a good experience or a bad experience. It sounds like a terrible experience, but it's a
I am-
possibility.
I am so glad that's never happened to me.
I think you take that risk when you go in.
Ah, dude, I was one of them. Dude, it was terrible.
Wait, somebody stuck it in you and then pulled it out with a...
Okay, bitch, listen here. Bend
the
over. Nah, dude, it's terrible. So just fuck, dude. How do you even like prepare for that? How do you make sure that doesn't happen?
The proper way to do it is to get like an enema. if you don't know what that is, it's like an anal douche,
Right.
and you are supposed to flush out your anal cavity. I think it's anywhere from 4 to 7 times, basically until when the water comes out, it's clear. There's no more shit in it.
Yeah, or have her like not eat all day.
Yeah, I mean, like that's like the way you're supposed to do. Like the way porn stars do it is they'll flush it and then they'll also bleach it.
You're fasting today, bitch.
But
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to do that. Honestly, you could just wear a condom.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, and it's a little bit more easier, as particularly because a condom is typically self lubricated, so it's much easier to go in. But like I said, like you do take that risk to have fecal matter on your male genitalia,
Your ding-a-lang.
and on top of that, you also take a risk of increased chance of STIs. So it's definitely not something you would want to.
You would want to do it with a trusted partner.
Yes, and if you're gonna do it with someone who's not you're not fully committed to, I would wrap it before you tap it.
Do you think it's just as pleasurable than doing like to the vagina?
Both are good in itself. I feel like I definitely do prefer a female vagina, but at the same time, I do enjoy a woman's anal cavity. I don't know which one I like more, honestly, but you know what, I'm probably gonna lean towards the vagina.
I think it's whether you like tightness or wetness. Is that what it is?
Well, for me, I like it. I enjoy sex more when I'm with someone and she is enjoying it more. Like if she's enjoying it, then I'm enjoying it. If she's not enjoying it, then I'm not enjoying it. If you guys catch me.
So you get off by getting her off, similar to Orlando.
Wait, what? More or less, yes.
How do you remember that, Jigaboo?
I remember lots of things about you, faggot.
Why did you call him that? Cut it out.
No, don't censor us. There's nothing wrong with saying jigaboo. I mean, if we're saying nigger, we might as well say jigaboo. He's gonna cut this part out, but
I would hope so.
I'm not cutting this part out. This is staying in, but god damn it.
I'm just saying, like, that if anything, that word is worse than jigaboo. So
these are a bunch of faggots, man. There we go. Fucking 3 words right there, right off the bat. Welcome back to the BOS Penthouse Experience, man. Rated 5 stars. Dude, we need to get ratings on this damn.
Rated AO, adults only.
That sounds kind of gay.
NC-17.
MC-17. Anyone got some more topics they want to bring up?
I feel like we've only talked about sex today.
I think we have.
We briefly touched on Noel's military experience, and then we moved into sex.
And then anal sex.
Yeah.
Definitely sounds like the military.
Anal sex in the military?
Oh, I meant like talking about military stuff and then mixing it with sex altogether, because it's like everyone's a horny bastard in the military. That's all I gotta say. Horny
yeah.
bastards everywhere.
I feel like you get deprived of it a bit in the military.
Yes, and then in some areas you're not supposed to engage in activities, but everyone does it anyways.
I gotta ask, is there any like gay stuff that goes on like in the showers in the military?
You know what's funny? It does happen, but it occurs from quote unquote straight men.
They say it's a thing of dominance, huh?
I don't know, but I've definitely seen quote unquote heterosexual men acting very homoerotic in the community showers.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it leads me to question like there have been like legit soldiers that I know who are LGBT, and they're just taking a normal shower, like,
yeah, they don't care.
Like they don't care. Like they're just taking a shower. And then you have these quote unquote straight guys who are like suddenly measuring each other's.
Oh, mine's bigger than yours.
Or I distinctly remember an image of
my asshole's tighter.
One.
That's
I do hear that.
You know that a couple of my friends, they did this thing in high school called Drum Corps International. It's like, I guess you would call it professional marching band, but it's just a bunch of like high schoolers that pay money and they compete against each other.
Oh, you had
and they shower together. the men and the women, they shower with each other, the women with the women, the men with the men. One of my friends said that they dared him to touch this dude's dick, but he slipped and ended up gripping it instead of just touching it.
That sounds like you.
How does it sound like me?
I can see you in that situation.
Hell no. I wouldn't even touch it in the first place.
Dude, well, I mean, I already caught you on that one because
Moses didn't say chicken.
I was not talking about that.
Oh,
Do
then what were you talking about?
What is the context here?
Okay, so we were at Maria's Tacos, me and Moses, and
Who's Maria?
The owner of the
Sunnyside
taco...
Square.
Oh,
You know that taco joint?
Oh.
We were there.
Oh.
And
Oh, I know.
I don't remember who initiated the dare, but one of us was like, whoever caves first or something. Like basically my hand was on his leg and I was going to slowly move towards his crotch. And whoever caves first has to like pay for each other or something. And me and Moses both didn't cave. And we both immediately felt awkward and were like, what? Like one of us should have caved.
It
but
sounds
we
like
didn't.
both of you are secretly gay. What the?
Isn't he married?
He's happily married.
Yet he was okay with you touching his male genitalia. And he was okay
his
with
wife was
touching-
right there. She saw me do it.
So she's like, I guess would be the
his wife
equivalent of
just
a-
doesn't even. She's just like whatever.
So she's like the opposite or the reverse of a cuck.
I wouldn't call her a cuck. If anything, she's the dominant one in the relationship.
Yeah. I don't want to get into this.
Anyways, what I was referring to is the one time that BD was kicking your ass at Mo's house.
He was not kicking my ass.
Dude, you were turning purple.
I
and
was
dying.
not.
He was choking you.
I was not.
Anyways, as he was submitting
And I had to
you,
assert my dominance.
as he was submitting you,
This
you
sounds-
grabbed his cock and balls.
No, I didn't. I grabbed and squeezed it to get him off of me.
Oh, so you did.
No, see, the problem is he didn't touch it. He had it like hovering like under it. But I knew what he was going to do. So
Yeah.
I just like backed off.
Yeah,
Not letting him.
like the sub you are.
No. Okay, no, hold on. Before I get into the mic.
You are okay.
Next time, if I do choke him out, if I see his hand going, I'm gonna break his fucking wrist, and I'm just gonna start stomping the shit out of his balls and cock right there. You might like it.
That sounds like some BDSM.
Oh, he's gonna like it.
Yeah, you'll definitely like it. But
Please,
no,
God.
Steven, you
Just come out as gay already.
He was
It's
choking.
I'm not gay.
2020.
he was choking you, and that's how you got him off you. He was choking you.
He wasn't choking me.
He was choking
Steven,
you, and
He had
that's
his
how you got
arm
him
around
off.
my neck, but he wasn't choking me.
I was right in front of you two.
I could breathe just fine.
Ugh, got chills. This is a-
Unless you were acting like you were getting choked, and then you made them believe. Because Moses was yelling.
I
at
wouldn't
me
call
like,
myself a good actor, so
This is true.
Doug, you were purple.
I was not purple. If anything, I was brown.
if they're brown, shoot him down.
Why are you brown? Shit. Is there like a brown color on this thing? We doubt.
Brown out.
So now in the military, you said that they get freaky with one another.
All the time.
Now,
They play slap ass.
Yes. I've lost track of the times I've feel like
Have you found yourself being on the receiving end of the slap ass?
yeah, I've had someone slap my ass. They're like, "Hey, is that a roadkill?" And like, I was walking up the stairs and I was like, "The fuck." And like next thing you know, like some hand comes up and like spanks my ass.
Oh yeah,
It was a firm handshake, and I didn't know.
it was a handshake.
I mean, no, I'm
alright.
sorry. It was a firm hand slap, and I know how to feel about that.
I feel like half our military is secretly gay now.
Or lesbian.
Now,
There's a lot of lesbians.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, those are the ones that join the military.
No, I mean, like I would say a lot of the females are bisexual, actually, to be honest. And maybe a lot of the men are bi as well. I don't know.
I think people who are bisexual just haven't figured out which one they actually like yet.
I mean, I feel like it could go either way. Like, I mean, if someone wants vagina, if someone wants male ass, I mean, it's just what they want.
Because I
man.
mean, you can't be bisexual by nature. That's something you're choosing to do.
I don't know. All I know is that I don't know how to respond to the text message.
So, Noel's chatting with some chick.
Yes.
You know, Noel, this is a cell-free zone.
Realize that now.
I'm trying to get laid here. I'm sorry.
If you're trying to get laid, you gotta tell the listeners
What do I have to tell them?
everything about her.
What's her name? What's
Name,
her
address, social security number.
I don't have that
skin type?
type
Fetishes.
of information.
What text
right.
can't you not respond to?
Well, you see, I kind of want to go to the titty bar with the gang. That's the second time that's happened. I kind of want to go to a titty.
Steven just banged his head on the roof.
Yeah.
Again.
See, I kind of want to go to a titty bar, and I mean, I definitely got most of my tax return, and I got paid yesterday, so I'm definitely flush with cash. But at the same time, I kind of want to see this woman, so it's like a mix. It's a 50-50. I want to
so
see.
she wants to hang out.
Yeah, she says just let me know what I'm down to do today, and
I mean, if you care about this woman, a titty bar shouldn't be even in the question.
I mean, like her and I are not together now. We're taking it very slowly, and yeah.
Well, from what you've said, it sounds like you kind of are together.
You just haven't put an official title on it.
You know,
There's a difference between dating and being together, Steve.
yes,
Well,
please.
yes,
Thank
there
you
is.
for that.
There is.
Thank you.
But
There is.
considering how long he said he's been seeing this person, I mean,
It's only been like 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
that's
That's still
a bit
dating.
long to be dating.
No.
That's
I would say by
That's
then you should
normal.
know whether or not you want to at least put the title boyfriend girlfriend on it. So I mean, I'd say most
it
people.
hasn't happened yet. So
I would say most people go on a date once a week minimum if they're dating, and by the third or fourth date you should know. You know what I mean? Because by the third or fourth date you've learned a lot about them, not as much as you would as you were like seriously dating, but you've learned enough about them to know whether or not this guy or girl is crazy or not.
no, I have to disagree with you on that, dude. People hide their craziness.
Well, what I mean is like their obvious craziness. Because I mean, people say stupid things when they're on a date sometimes, and that you'll usually come out by the third or fourth date.
For me, it'll be a while before I say anything that I shouldn't be saying. I'm very good at censoring myself when it comes down to dating.
Yeah, so I think I've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to go to a titty bar today. I think I'm going to see this woman and see
That's good.
See how far I can go. Full disclosure, there is a condom in my car. Just letting your
What's your
listeners-
favorite brand?
Don't be a bitch.
I'm a Trojan kind of man.
See, there's something wrong with, well, not wrong with those, but something that goes wrong with me when when I try putting those shits on.
I've actually had a few of those rip in the past.
Mm.
Scary. But
You're like, oh, it feels so much better. Oh shit.
yes. That the first time I was like,
Yeah, why did they get better all of a sudden?
how long has this been like this? And do we just keep going? Because it's been like this for a while already.
That's like that episode of Family Guy when Stewie just walks into these two people having sex and takes this condom away, and then when they go back to having sex, he's like, "Oh, this is much better."
It is much better. But you know what's also really good? Not having an STI.
Oh yeah.
Trojan, if you're listening to us, please sponsor us.
I definitely did have a scare once, but it was ingrown hair, and that really put the fear of God into me. But yeah, man, I've lived my life without an STI, and I just want to continue on with that. If I can just live the rest of my life without having an STI or out being in jail, I'd be happy.
Go to the girl and say, "I won't have sex with you unless you do a blood test."
That's
That's
too far.
You
And I
can't-
feel like that's already like putting her off and like making her feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, she's not gonna sleep with you if you do that, dude.
No, because see, like when a woman that wants to sleep with you, she wants to sleep with you. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, you can't really convince a woman to sleep
Are
with
you sure she wants it, or is she just horny?
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
That is not the same thing.
Like, it's really circumstantial, and like a woman will choose to sleep with you. If she doesn't want to, then she's gonna make it very apparent, and it's gonna be very difficult to convince her. And I mean, you can, but then it gets really rapey, and that's just no bueno. Please don't do that. Not cool.
Harvey Weinstein.
Well, see, Harvey Weinstein, he had power to give out.
And the thing is, a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
those
he had to assert his power
the thing
all over
is,
their face.
A lot of those women actually put themselves in that situation. Like, they could have easily said no, but they essentially prostituted themselves out. And so that's kind of what really like bothers me about the Weinstein case. Like, I think that, he is not a good man by any means. Like, rape, coercion, that sort of stuff that's just not cool. You should not do that. However, these women that, prostituted themselves and then on top of that continued to have consensual sexual relationships with him well after and years after these supposed rapes or alleged rapes. Well, I'm going to hell now. I just said that. I just angered a bunch of feminists.
No,
fuck
trust
the
me, no
feminists.
feminists are listening to us.
So, and the thing is, like I said, like a lot of them did prostitute themselves and put themselves in that situation, and it's just so coincidentally that suddenly they just come out of the limelight and say, "Oh, he forced himself on me, and I wasn't okay with that." But I mean, they were sure enough to take his money and sure enough to land multi-million-dollar contracts. But
Oh yeah.
again, it just goes back to just you're putting yourself in these situations.
I mean, it was quid pro quo,
Yes.
but like you said, they could have said no. Now they're just trying to capitalize on something that other people are allegedly saying, and
yes, and I'm not denying any of the bad things he's done by any means. I'm not. I definitely do think that, like I said, a lot of these women put themselves in these situations, and that a lot of this stuff could easily been, avoided by reporting him and making sure that he gets brought to justice.
but I mean, he's given him a good bargain. He's given him those movies and really good roles and potential Grammy nominations and
In
whatnot.
exchange, all he had to do was blow up their pussy.
Comfortable.
I still don't agree with that. I'm just stating what's happening or
Oh
what.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, they should just be like priests. The only thing they blow up is their altar boys.
Gosh darn it. All right. I think that is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh.
Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast.
feel
It
like
was
I'm
really
gonna-
fun to have our guest star Noel on.
I feel like I'm gonna be celibate now. Even you just fucked everything up.
Jesus.
I'm trying to meet a girl later, man. Come on, man.
We're so
I don't wanna
sorry,
think about
Noel.
little boys.
Noel, look at me. I wish you the best of luck, man.
Noel, look at me. This girl ain't ever gonna listen to our podcast.
I don't want her to. She's a nice lady. She doesn't deserve to hear.
Oh, trust this podcast isn't for the nice people in our life.
Anyways, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and yeah, we will see you on the next one.
What the fuck is this?
And
Kind
yeah,
of sex
I
device?
was your host. I'm your host, True Legend, aka DVM, and yeah,
All right. This is Lando. Thank you guys for listening, and Noel, thank you so much for your presence here.
Please, the pleasure was all mine. I'm sorry I couldn't be more professional, but thank you guys for having me on.
I'm sorry. What did you just throw?
I didn't do anything.
He threw a Jolly Rancher wrapper.
It wasn't a Jolly Rancher, you
That
fucking nerd.
sounded.
It was a
pretty
Jolly
rough.
Rancher. I saw him in
No.
your pocket.
Okay, I actually brought. Okay, so I left my Jolly Ranchers at my parents' house.
Oh,
I wish I brought them back, but I left all my snacks in my car. I mean, I have my gun, but that's
well, yeah.
I
You
can't-
always
I can't-
gotta have your gun.
I can't eat that. I mean,
Well, you could eat it like Alex,
too-
but
too-
Okay.
oh,
All right. Well, Noel, thank you for coming by, and we'll sure have you back on.
most definitely.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty then. Then we'll see you guys in the next one.
thank you for listening, everyone.
Bye.